Hello guys, welcome back to VC Tech. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to configure DHCP Relay on a router. It is one of the most important features on networks where your DHCP server is not located in the same place as the client that you will be assigning IP to. DHCP Relay helps forward DHCP requests across network, making IP addressing smooth, automatic, and centralized. By the end of this video, you will understand what DHCP Relay is and why it is used, and step by step how to configure it on a router. Before we get started, what is DHCP Relay? DHCP Relay allows router to forward DHCP requests from clients to a DHCP server located in a different network or in a different location. For instance, you work in Manila and you want to be receiving IP address from a DHCP server that is located in the United States. Now, DHCP Relay makes that possible. It also ensures clients in different subnets can receive IP address configurations. The benefits of DHCP Relay is a centralized DHCP management across multiple networks. It also reduces the need for multiple DHCP servers, and it is more secured and efficient IP address distribution. It simplifies the network administration and scalability. With that being said, guys, let's head over to the configuration phase where I show you how to configure DHCP Relay on a router. For this tutorial, we are going to be using one router and one server that will be serving as a DHCP server. Now, this server is the server we are assuming to be in the United States, and this host devices are in Manila, and we want to get IP address from this DHCP server. First, I'm going to assign IP address to the DHCP. Let's also make it obvious that this is a DHCP. So DHCP server. Then I will assign IP address to the DHCP and also on the router, the both default gateway on the router. As you all know, this is a local area network, as well as this here is a local area network. So we have two networks for this tutorial. First, let's assign IP address to the DHCP server. So for this DHCP server, it's going to be taking 192.168.20.5 with a default gateway of 20.1, and let's assign also the DNS. I'm not going to need it for this tutorial. So we've assigned IP address to the DHCP. Let's also assign IP address to the default gateway of the both interfaces on the router. Or we can just do that easily by going to, this is gig interface 01. So interface gig 01, default gateway is going to be 1.1, and it's on for this local area network. Now let's also go to the second local area network and assign IP address to the default gateway. For this local area network, it's going to be taking 192.168.10.0. So the default gateway will be taking 10.1. So gigaports 0/0 with an IP address of 192.168.10.1, and we power that on. So the both interfaces, or the both default gateways, are active. Now let's create a DHCP pool on the DHCP server and try to get IP address from these devices here and see what's going to happen. Now we go to service and DHCP. Then remember to always put the service on, and for this, as we want to be assigning IP address to this local area network, so we have to be creating a DHCP pool for this local area network. Now, how do we do that? Since it's 192.168.10.0 network, the default gateway is what we are going to assign here of 192.168.10.1 default gateway IP address with a DNS of, let's copy that, there's that, oops, there's that there. So DNS will be taken .2 and .2. This will be .10 since we are creating the DHCP pool for the 10.0 network. So after doing this, we just click save and that's it. We've created a DHCP pool for the local area network of 192.168.10.0. Now let's try to request for IP address from the host devices on the network and see if it's possible to get an IP. Remember, we've already configured a DHCP server, a DHCP pool to assign IP address to this local area network, but unfortunately we cannot get an IP address because there is something we've not done, because this is a different local area network and this is a different local area network. So there are two networks here and we have to configure something on the router to enable this local area network receive IP address from the DHCP server on this local area network that is in the United States. We need to configure DHCP relay on the router. Now, how do we do that? We head to the CLI on the router. Now, we are going to configure our DHCP relay on the router, and on this interface gig 0/1, that is where we are going to configure something called IP helper. So we head to the interface gig 0/0. Now we see IP helper address. We are going to assign the IP address of the DHCP that we are requesting DHCP service from. So the IP address that we are going to be using for the IP helper on the interface of gig 0/0 for this local area network, it's going to be the IP address of the DHCP server. Remember, we cannot get IP address. Let's try to get IP address with this device. We still cannot get IP address and we've not configured IP helper yet. We cannot get IP address. Now let's configure IP helper on the interface that is the default gateway of the local area network of Manila. We are going to be using the IP address of the DHCP server that is located in the United States, which is 192.168.20.5. By doing this, guys, we've configured IP helper address. Now, when the host devices request for an IP address, it goes to the router. With IP helper, the default gateway knows where to forward that traffic, and it's going to be forwarding the traffic to the DHCP server that is located in the United States. Now let's try to request for IP address once again. Oh, we already got an IP address for this device. Let's try. we got an IP address which is taking 192.168.10.2. And let's try with this device. I believe this one should have an IP address too. Oh, not yet. This was the previous IP address it got when we tried to request for an IP address. Let's try it one more time and see if we are able to get an IP address. Certainly we are able to get an IP address for the second device. Let's also try for the third device. And yes, we are able to get for the third device. Guys, this is how we configure IP helper on a router when the DHCP server and the clients are in different locations. We configure IP helper on the interface or on the default gateway of the local area network that is requesting for the IP address. So we can check what we just did by saying do show run, and as you can see on the interface of gig 0/0 we configured IP helper on that interface. Now guys, if this video helped you understand how a device in a different location, maybe a device in Australia and they have a DHCP server that is located in maybe Brazil, we have to configure DHCP Relay on the router to enable the devices in Australia receive IP address from a DHCP server that is located in Brazil. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video. Do not forget to like and subscribe.